And we're back. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Josh. This is the Gaming Joy channel, and we're back on Middleburgh. We're actually in the same day we were in before. We just took a quick little break. And what we've got to do now is, well, we're going to fertilize and spread some herbicide on a field. Now, we're kind of not doing it the way we normally do it. We'll talk about that in just a second. But first of all, let's pick up our fertilizer spreader. Let me double check that this has row crops. I'm pretty sure it does. I hope it does. Anyways, we're going to come over here to our fieldwork fill station. This is actually my own mod, which allows you to fill up on whatever you want. We're going to fill up on lime. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, what are you going to lime? You only have 2 fields. And those fields are, well, they're fields. Like, they're already ready to harvest. What are you going to do? Well, that's the thing. We're going to kind of play the game. We're going to game the game in some way. All right, let's just go. So what I'm doing here is I'm spreading lime. And as you can see, I'm spreading lime on a fully grown field. Now, you're thinking to yourself, that's pretty dumb. Why would you do that? You're supposed to lime the field before you even plant the crops. Why would you do it now? Here's the thing. Precision farming, which is what we're using on this playthrough, doesn't care. It really doesn't. It doesn't care if you lime it before planting, after planting, 5 minutes before harvesting. It doesn't care. And so what I'm doing is I'm just getting the scores up. So when precision farming calculates your scores, it calculates your scores when you harvest for most stuff. So for lime and fertilizer, it calculates your score for the field as part of the harvest. And as long as the ground has the right levels when you harvest, you're going to get a better score. And since we're doing a let's play and we want to start off the best way possible, from my perspective, why not make sure the ground is as good as I can get it before I harvest it? That way I can get the most amount of not only yield, but also profit from the first couple things I sell, because everything in precision farming is based on how good your fields were and your score. And so if your score is not good, you actually get a penalty when you sell things. So if I harvested this crop and I went and sold it, which I'm not going to do, but if I did, I would actually get a penalty because the ground was not the fields were not properly prepared. And I don't want that penalty. That's a silly penalty, especially considering, you know, I need that money for my starting farm. I'm going to go and do everything I can to make sure this ground is the best it can be. So we actually just ran out of limes. Let's go back and get a little more lime. It's weird that I ran out. That kind of looks dumb, doesn't it? Oh well. So now, if we look at our pH levels of this field, we're going to see that the pH levels of this field are green. They're where they need to be. Let's go find that spot that we need to spread on. There's it right here. Turn our spreader on. Finish this last little bit. And done. We also have another field to do, so we're going to go do the other field. We'll do that in time lapse. But the idea here is if we look at this, soil, now the pH for this is green. That's good. That's really good. That's what we want for this type of field. This one is still yellow. Let's go make it green. the gate? It's over here. And since precision farming doesn't calculate until you harvest, we won't actually see any bonuses. So if we look at this score, our environmental score, it hasn't changed. Go back here. Our environmental score has not changed. The only one that we have is soil sampling because we sampled the soil. We don't have one for weed control, pH, nitrogen. We're not getting anything for it. We can't get anything for tillage because, well, this is a new field. We can't control the tillage while there's crop in the ground. We can control everywhere else, technically. Now I know it's not legit. That's fine. But I'm going to jump up here and do the second field, and then we'll be right back when I'm filling up with herbicide. So, be right back. And we're back. So we have finished liming that field. We got a little bit of extra lime. We're just going to kind of dump right here. This button to dump. Oh, isn't it? There it is. Somehow it dumped all the way over there. That's fine. Whatever. Next, we're going to do fertilizer. So we're doing the same thing. We're going to get some fertilizer in our least fertilizer spreader. This one, I think we're only going to need about 5,000 total. Could be wrong, but I don't want to get too much. Because it just cost us 6 grand. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fertilize this field, even though it really shouldn't be fertilized at this stage. And what that's going to do for us is it's going to raise the nitrogen levels of the field. Gosh, I'm driving all crazy right now. It's going to raise the nitrogen levels of the field so that when we harvest it, it's in a good state. And that good state is important to us because we want the nitrogen levels to be as good as possible to increase our yield and increase our precision farming score. Since all of our sales are going to be based off that precision farming score, it's really important to us right away. So we're going to loop around this field. We're going to finish fertilizing it. Then we're going to jump over to the other field, fertilize that one. And then once we're done, we're going to come back and we're going to actually do the same thing, but with the spot sprayer. The spot sprayer one's a little bit weird and it acts a little bit differently, but you'll see what happens and we'll show you. And we'll just kind of go through it, figure out what's going to happen. And then today, hopefully, we will actually start harvesting and actually get some crops off the ground and see if what all this work was for nothing. It isn't. I'll kind of lead you with that. It isn't. It works. It does a good job. It's just a little funny, honestly. But in some ways, we are playing the game. And if Giants didn't want us to do this, they would have added some kind of protection in that said, no, you can't lime a field or fertilize a field when it's ready to harvest. That would be code that I would add if I was Giants. Not, but that's what I would have done. But since they didn't, we're just going to play the game as it stands. And as it stands, you can do kind of weird, funny stuff like this. All right, I'll be right back. We're going to jump over to the other field. I'll time lapse it, zoom through that process so we don't have to watch it all over again. And we'll be right back. And we're back. We're gonna back up to the whoop, totally hit that thing. We're gonna back up and get this power spray hooked up. Now this is the precision farming power spray. This is designed for, obviously, to spray herbicide. It'll also spray fertilizer in case you didn't know, but it also has the See and Spray cameras. And what those will do is, as needed, just a tiny bit because we don't need a lot. As needed, they will spray on your ground and kill some weeds. Now, we don't have any weeds in these fields. As far as I know, actually, let's check. I don't even know. No weeds. So we got no weeds in these fields. No big deal. But what we're going to do, and this is the weird part with this one, is we're going to go in here. We're going to unfold it. We're going to get ready to spray. And if we look at our precision farming menu, this is what we're trying to affect. See this, the third one right here? Third one, weed control. We don't have any weed control. So I come in here and do is we're just going to pull into this field. We're going to turn these sprayers on. Now it's not actually going to spray anything because, well, there's no weeds. We just checked that. But it is going to tell precision farming that we did do it. We look here, see how the second one is all the way up now? This one is all the way up too because they're attached to the same piece of farmland. So we don't actually have to do it over there either. But if you see, both of these bars are up now. We only had to do like 10 feet. That's it. We're done. And so what we've done here is we've maximized what we could get when we harvest this field. So now we can come up here and we're going to do the same thing we did with the fertilizer spreader. And we're going to just dump out the extra. We'll keep it for next time we actually get one of these for ourselves, because right now this is just a lease. And maybe get a different one. I don't know if we're going to keep the John Deere. Maybe we'll go somewhere else. We'll see. And, oh, no, that's not what I want. This one. Dump that IBC out. And then where are we at? Let's go ahead and return these two leases. We don't need either of them. Return. Yes. Yes. Fertilizer return. Yes. Yes. Now, what do we want from here? From here, the next step is going to be to harvest that field. Let's turn the tractor off. It's getting loud. So we have a harvester. We have corn header. We have a trailer that can get the crop, but that trailer can only dump into our silo. We actually want to have a trailer that's going to dump into something else, and we're going to have to do a whole bunch of stuff to get that to happen. So the next step is let's park this tractor up here, and he's going to stay right about here for now. Actually, he's blocking the other one, so let's put them side by side. We are going to go buy a few more things, right? So let's come over here. Pardon the super strength for just a second. All we're going to do is take these out of the truck. For now, we're going to leave them right here. We will move those properly with a front end loader, but we need to drive down to the store. And let's fold it up. Start it up. We're gonna go back and forth to the store a lot next couple days, so I'm just gonna jump from here and jump cut to when we're at the store. Catch you there. All right, we're pulling up to the store now, and what we're gonna get here, we're gonna get 3, 4 things. I forget. I have a list, and that list is important. So let's pull up right here outside the zone. This is where our stuff is going to spawn at, underneath this little shed. Let's turn off our engine. Let's go into the store. What we're going to buy is we're going to buy a couple cool things. First, we're going to get an auger wagon. Now, we're getting an auger wagon specifically. Where's the one I wanted? I wanted this one because it's nice and cheap. This one in black. These are some crazy tires, aren't they? Do I like the... Kind of like the Michelin's a little bit better. Anyways. Crazy tires. That looks good for me. we're going to buy this one. So we want an auger. And the reason we want an auger is because we're not going to go directly into the silo or anywhere else. We want to convert the corn when we harvest it into all of these. It's going to be great. So we have a CR6000 for Middleburgh. This is something that I customize myself, but nonetheless, we'll do gray because it fits with what we want. And we're not going to do anything else. You can get it with a box creation mode or a belt. We just want standard. And we're going to buy it. 20 grand. We're losing money real quick here. Okay. And those two things we just purchased are right here. So we've got this thingy and that thingy. This one we're going to convert into, we go in here, we go like this, we get in it, we're inside it because it's technically a vehicle. We're going to N. No, we don't want to open the cover, we want to fold it. How do we fold it? Does anyone remember? Start engine. Transporting position, X. Turn off. Because we can't really load it onto the trailer when it's standing up. That's silly. We use our truck for loading. And we'll load the stuff up on the trailer. Actually, we need to... That's not what I wanted. And we'll load these up onto the trailer. And then I think we'll put the trailer on last. Oh, there's one more thing we need to get. Hold on. We also need to get a set of forks. We can't move stuff around the farm without forks. So let's get some front loader forks. And we've kind of picked out a cool one. I like this one. This is a fun one. It's cheap, nice cheap. Buy, yes. And and that's our set of equipment. Let's go into over here to the forklift. It's at the shop, and let's load some of that stuff in. So when we load the equipment into our thing, we'll go back to the farm and we'll start our harvest. Now this is going to be comical because I'm not very good at loading things. So we're just going to go ahead and load this in a time lapse, and we'll see how much hilarity can ensue in such a small amount of time. And we're back. That was a trip, to say the least. Yeah, we're just going to pretend that that all loaded perfectly and the store understands what's going on. This truck is driving kind of funny. I'm not sure why. And, oh. Anyways, we'll catch you back at the farm. All right, we got it reloaded a little bit. Move the forks and the lifter to the back. Truck seems to be driving properly now. That was kind of a mess. Anyways, we're gonna drive back up to the farm. I like the farm that the farm is so close to the shop because we're gonna be going back and forth to the shop a lot. All right, so we got like a bunch of weird stuff, and not all of that weird stuff is gonna make sense right now. The auger cart makes sense because, well, it's an auger. You need to auger things. Sure, that makes sense. The CR600, that is going to be our grinder to make our cracked corn. Now, one of the most fun parts about this map is this map includes the ability to make whiskey. And one of the items that we have from the start, we look at our production menus, is a moonshine still. They can make corn whiskey and whiskey. And to make corn whiskey, it's going to take cracked corn and water. For whiskey, it's going to take rolled barley. So, we're going to make whiskey at some point, probably in the next episode. Future Josh here. Apparently, past Josh has no concept of time, and he was rambling on like it was fun to do. Either way, I want to say thank you for everyone being here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Let me know if you like this video. We're going to keep going, and in the next video, we're going to continue with the harvest and figure out what these things are for. Thanks everyone for being here, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.